bright future. Every student matters.
Hello children, welcome to the session. In this session we are going to discuss some of the question and answers from the topic that we have covered so far. So children, the first question is, give examples of different types of fabrics available. So children, you might have seen different types of fabrics which are available around you, and you can name some of them. For example, you can write the name of cotton, you can write silk, you can write jute, and you can write any example that you like. Okay, it's completely your choice. Just make sure you write enough examples as per the number of marks for which this question is asked. Suppose this is asked as a 1 marker question, then you will have to write at least 2 examples. Okay, so make sure. Let's move to the next question. The fabric which looks smooth, is it actually smooth? So children, we all know that no, the fabric which initially might look smooth, if we take a closer look and we observe it under a microscope, we will observe it is actually textured, so it is not smooth. Okay, so let's move to the next question. What is yarn? So children, the loose thread which makes up a fabric is known as yarn. Okay, and for this we have done an activity wherein we took a piece of cotton fabric and we pulled out a loose thread out of it, and we named this loose thread as yarn. So we can say yarn makes up a fabric. Okay, let's move to the next question. Give an activity to prove that fabric is made up of yarn. So children, what we can do is we can take a piece of, say, cotton fabric. Okay, this is our piece of cotton fabric. Now we are going to pull a piece of loose thread from it. Okay, and you can observe this loose thread coming out of the fabric, and this is known as yarn. So this activity proves that the fabric is made up of yarns. Okay, so that's it guys. These were the question and answers from the topic that we have covered so far. So thank you so much for your attention. Hello children, welcome to the session. In this session we are going to solve some of the question and answers from the topics that we have covered so far. So children, the first question is, what are fibers? So children, these are the loose thin strands that makes up yarn. So children, in this activity we observed that we pulled out a loose thread and we called this thread as yarn. But children, when we tried to split this yarn, it split into a number of even thinner strands, and those thin strands were known as fibers. Okay, so we can say that yarn is made up of fibers. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Give an activity which proves that yarn is made up of fibers. So it is a very interesting activity children. What you can do is you can take a piece of yarn and you can just try to split it, and you will observe that it splits into a number of thin strands, and these thin strands are known as fibers. So this activity proves that children, yarn is made up of fibers. Yarn is made up of fibers. So let's move to the next question. What are the different types of fibers? So children, we have discussed that there are 2 types of fibers which are available. One is the natural fiber and the other one is synthetic fibers. So children, natural fibers are the fibers which are obtained from nature. For example, cotton, wool, jute, etc. Whereas synthetic fibers are the fibers which are man-made. For example, polyester, nylon and acrylic. Also children, we have studied that natural fibers are again of 2 types. The first one is plant fibers and the other one is animal fiber. So plant fibers are the fibers which are obtained from plant sources. For example, cotton and jute. We have also studied about flax. Okay, next children, we have discussed about the animal fiber which are obtained from the animal sources, like wool, which is obtained from goat, sheep, yak, etc. And another example for animal fiber is silk, which is obtained from the cocoons of the silkworm. Okay, let's move to the next question, which is what are natural fibers? So children, natural fibers are the fibers which are obtained from nature. For example, cotton, silk, etc. Again, the natural fibers are of two types. One is the animal fiber and the other one is the plant fiber. So children, the fibers which have animal source, that is which are obtained from animals, are called as animal fibers. For example, silk, which is obtained from cocoons of silkworm, and wool, which is obtained from goats, sheep, yak, camels, and even from the rabbit. Okay, the plant fibers are the ones which have a plant source. For example, cotton, which grows in fields and requires black soil, and it may also be one more example can be jute, which is again obtained from the stem of the jute plant. Okay, let's move to the next question. What are synthetic fibers? So children, these are the fibers which are man-made fibers, and the example for these synthetic fibers are nylon, polyester, and you can also write about the acrylic. These are the synthetic fibers. Okay children, so next question is what are the different types of natural fibers? So children, the different types of natural fiber are plant fibers and animal fibers. Plant fibers which have plant origin, okay, or which are obtained from plants like cotton, jute, flax, whereas animal fibers are the one which are obtained from the animals like wool and silk. Okay, next question is give two examples of natural fibers. So children, the two examples you can write as per your choice. You can write cotton, you can write silk, you can write wool, you can give as many examples as you want. You can write any example of your choice. Okay, next question is give two examples of plant and animal fibers. So two examples of plant fibers can be children cotton and jute, and two examples for animal fibers can be silk and wool. Okay, next question is give two examples of synthetic fibers. You can write acrylic, nylon, or polyester as per your choice. Okay students, so these were the question and answers from the topic that we have covered so far. So thank you so much for your attention. Hello children, welcome to the session. In this session students, we are going to discuss some of the question and answers from the topics that we have covered so far. So children, the first question is in which states of India cotton and jute are usually grown? So children, it is Gujarat, which is the largest producer of cotton, right? And jute is usually grown in West Bengal and Assam. Okay, so let's move to the next question, which is what are the essential conditions for growing cotton and jute? So children, for growing cotton we need black soil. The first condition is black soil, and we also need warm climate. Then children, for jute we require rainy season. Okay, so these are the essential conditions for growing cotton and jute. Let's move to the next question, which is write a short note on plant fibers. So children, what are plant fibers? Plant fibers are the fibers which are obtained from plant sources. Okay, which are obtained from plant sources. So what can be the example of plant fibers children? The first example can be cotton. Why? Because it is grown in fields, that is from the plant sources, cotton fields. Then we have jute, which is also obtained from plants, the stem of the plants. Okay, so let's move to the next question, which is what is the name of the fruit of cotton plant? So children, the fruit of cotton plant is known as cotton ball. Okay, so let's move to the next question, which is how is jute fiber obtained from jute plant? So children, the stem of jute is kept immersed in water. What we do is we usually take large containers, and in these containers we take water and we put the stem of the jute plants for 5-6 days, and after some days you will observe that these stems starts to rot. and after rotting, children, we can easily separate the jute fibers from the stem of the jute plant. Okay, so let's move to the next question. What is ginning? So children, ginning is the process wherein the cotton fiber is separated from its seeds. Okay, this process is known as ginning. So that's it, guys. These were the question and answers from the topics that we have covered so far. So thank you so much for your attention.